You're listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, where you get valuable information you just can't find anywhere else. To thrive in today's trying times, you need the Financial Survival Network, now more than ever. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and get your free newsletter and gift. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.
Welcome. You are listening to the Financial Survival Network. I'm Kerry Lutz. Well, the question is there good money? Is there bad money? And how do you make more of the good stuff and get rid of the bad stuff? Well, best-selling author Derrick Kinney is with us. And now the book is Good Money Revolution, How to Make More Money to Do More Good. And that's always a good thing. And you'll be interested to know that this is a Wall Street Journal and USA Today national bestseller. Derrick, welcome to the show. So good money. What is good money? How do you define it?
Well, Kerry, first of all, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your show. I've heard great things about it and honored to be with you today. Good money, as I like to say, in the hands of good people gets good work done. And we hear in the news today, there's so many villains when it comes to money. You've got, dictators, you've got CEOs that are accused of withholding money from their employees. And the media and people often refer to those people as bad. They're just bad people. And therefore, the assumption is that they do bad things with their money. And then when you contrast that with good people, it's people who want to provide for their families and they want to put food on the table. They want to do a great job, but they worry that, oh my gosh, if the bad people have all the money, then what do the good people do? And my contention is that good money in the hands of good people gets good work done. And that is, just because we see people doing bad things with money doesn't mean that good people can't rise up and make more of it and do good in the world they want to do. So that's what the book Good Money Revolution is all about. It's really empowering people to say, look, wherever you're at right now, whether you own a company, whether you work for someone, whether you're the administrative assistant, wherever you are on the line of life, you can make more money and use it to do more good in your family or more good in the world. You get to choose.
All right. So, but what is good money exactly? How do you define good? What does that mean exactly?
What I think about good money is money that has intentionality to it. In other words, so many people show up at a job every Monday and they work till 5 o'clock and they come home and repeat the same cycle Tuesday through Friday. And it's just a means to an end. And when I talk about good money, it's basically thinking about money as a tool for positive change. It's perhaps one of the best levers that we have for good in the world. Many people think about, well, I'm going to donate my time and give away possessions, those kind of things, which is great. But when you can use your money as a motivating tool and say, you know what, I'm going to a job I really probably don't like, but I'm going to do it so that I can have a wealth why, as I call it. In other words, why am I doing this is it to help my family have a better life? Is it to help a cause I care deeply about? And suddenly money becomes good in the sense that I'm using it to make more of it to do more good in the world.
All right. So is Elon Musk making good money?
It depends on how you look at it. It's often a question I ask when I go to the gas pump these days. I often make the joke, I just got robbed because of how much I paid to fill up my tank. But then if I own some of the oil refinery stocks, I'm like, well, I'm making money on this side. So it depends on how you see it. Elon Musk is someone who is a trailblazer. He obviously has produced a quality product that many people like, good for the environment. Now, is he going to have lobs of criticism at him in terms of the space program and things that he does? Sure. I don't know him personally, but what I ask is, what can you learn from someone like that? And when I see successful people, I ask, how do they manage people? How do they lead people? And what do they do to achieve wealth? And what could I do to mimic that, but make sure it aligns with my values and doing good in the areas that I want to do good in?
All right. So I guess the answer is it depends then, right? He's definitely made people look at the world differently, adjusted their worldview, right? And really made people question the status quo. So isn't that good in and of itself?
I think it is. I would say that it is. Everybody is going to have different opinions of things. I mean, you might make a criticism against Jeff Bezos. Well, my gosh, he has so much money. Why can't he pay his team more? Why can't he do this or that? The bottom line is these are free enterprise people. These are people. And what I think about is, Kerry, is people who sacrificed to build the companies they have. It's easy to criticize somebody who is one of the most wealthy people in the world now, but I think about what it took to get there and what it will take for your listeners to get there. If they choose to make good money and do more good with it, it's going to take sacrifice to do something different to make more money. And I think that's what I think about in terms of a motivating tool.
Well, what about the tech oligarchs? Originally, and I don't want to name names because they were subject to censor, but originally they were really helping human beings find information, building networks, helping people around the world connect in ways that were never dreamed of before. Now it seems like they're doing the opposite. So sometimes good money can become bad, can it?
It can. And that's, one thing that I'm a very practical person. And, what I think about is what can I use to apply this to improve my life and the lives of people listening right now? When people see, again, ultra wealthy, they see people using money that's intended for good, for bad, it can be disillusioning. It can cause frustration. It can make people wonder, well, maybe I really can't have more money. Maybe just what I make right now or what I'm paid is all I'm going to get. And I just feel like as we emerge from this post-pandemic world, and I talk about it in my book, Good Money Revolution, it's about a new mindset is what's required to think differently about your money. I think people are really asking themselves, what am I working for? What am I really doing here? And not just to achieve my retirement goal or put my son or daughter through college or pay off my debt, but how do I have a sense of meaning and fulfillment when my head hits the pillow at night that I've really done something to be proud of and helped make my little, I call it the snow globe that I live in, my little slice of the world better, and not comparing myself to these ultra wealthy people because I can feel very inadequate when I do that too often.
Right. Sometimes, though, you feel that way and other times you don't. But you have to keep on going, don't you?
Don't just survive. Thrive. The Financial Survival Network.
Torque Resources is an exploration company establishing a portfolio of premier copper-gold early-stage projects in Chile. Torque's management and technical teams have a strong track record of raising capital, discovery, and monetization of exploration successes. The company's Margarita Copper-Gold project is located within the prolific coastal Cordillera Belt in Chile, which hosts some of the world's largest and most profitable copper mines. The Margarita project possesses excellent discovery potential for a major copper discovery due to the strength of the alteration system, large-scale magnetic targets, and the presence of copper oxide mineralization. Drilling is anticipated to begin in Q3 of this year. Torque trades in Canada under TORQ and on the OTC under TRBMF. To learn more, go to torqueresources.com. That's torqueresources.com.
This is the Financial Survival Network, the information you need to thrive now more than ever.
That's exactly right. And, one of the things that I think about, there's a woman that I wanted to tell you a quick story about. I was in my office on a Saturday morning, kind of catching up on things, and my voicemail, I was blinking, and I pressed the button, listened to the message, and to my surprise was a woman's voice who was just like beside herself that she said, Derrick, you've got to call me back right away. A check I wrote didn't clear. I got a letter in the mail that it bounced and they're going to send me to jail. And I was like, what in the world? I knew this call couldn't wait to be returned until Monday. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I call her back and I said, first of all, what happened? She said, well, I forgot to move money from my savings to checking. I wrote this check. I got a letter in the mail. And I said, okay, we can call the bank together on Monday. I'll help you with that. But the second part of your message, why do you think you're going to go to jail? So she begins to tell me a story about when she was was 7 years old, she overheard a conversation that her dad had from a store manager calling him saying, hey, the clothes you bought, you bounced a check. I just got a notice of it, and I'm going to call the cops and send you to jail.
Huh?
So here was this girl, 7 years old, who overheard this conversation. So now she's 55 years old, Kerry. So she's lived with this belief, get this, that if you bounce a check, you go to jail. But in her world, if you make any financial mistake at all, then you're bad and you might get punished for it. And what it led me to believe was and realize this was a woman who I'd given great advice to for probably 20 years, but she was always hesitant to take action. As a matter of fact, she never took action and missed out on a lot of opportunities. And I realized in that moment, this is something that she's connecting to a bad money belief when she was 7 years old, and it's held her back to when she's 55. And so I just think people listening right now, some of them may be thinking, that sounds so crazy, but some people may be wondering, you know what, I do have some bad money beliefs and it has held me back. What can I do to alleviate that?
All right. So going back, though, what can you do to identify those bad money beliefs so then you're in a position to eliminate them? Because based on what you're saying here, a lot of it's unconscious. Many of you out there don't even realize you have these bad money beliefs.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what I want to do is to keep it simple. I talk about this in my book, Good Money Revolution. It's just on a, even on a sticky note or on the notes app on your phone, just begin to write out a list of what are the money decisions that you are most proud of, and what money decisions do you feel like if you could do it over again, you would? And the goal there is just to be able to contrast the two, because most people have made at least one or two good decisions in their lives with their money. But when they begin to realize, when I did this, this is what happened, I want people to see it in front of them so they can begin to realize, when I do this, here's how I feel, or here's the negative consequence. Or, maybe someone told them when they were younger, hey, you're not worthy of making more money, or the income you're making right now is probably all you're ever going to make. And they just mentally believe that this is all I'm ever going to make. And so I really want to help people rethink their money in terms of not just where they're at today, but what they could do in the future. And I would contend on a grander scale, their family and their local community needs them to make more money, because we need the good people to make more money to do more good in the world today. All
right. So tell us, Derrick, what's the response been to the book so far?
The response has been great. And I say that, obviously it's become a national bestseller, which is great, but I didn't write the book to make money. And authors know that you typically don't write a book because you don't get paid a lot of money. I wrote it to help a lot of other people make a lot of money. I built a very successful business and sold it, and I'm doing this full time now to get this good money message in the hands of people. And one thing I'll mention too, we do want to get this message into as many people's hands, and people can download the first 5 chapters of the book for free when they go to goodmoneychapters.com. That's goodmoneychapters.com, and would love to get the message to you and at least get you applying these principles to help you make more money and do more good.
All right. Well, it's been said that money can't buy happiness, but it'll do till the real thing comes along.
I like that.
So perhaps, money can't buy happiness. Lack of money can pretty much ensure that you won't be as happy as you might have been otherwise.
Well, a buddy of mine once told his soon-to-be son-in-law, he said, remember that romance without finance leads to an ambulance. And it's a good saying for me to remember.
All right. Well, hey, the book is Good Money Revolution, How to Make More Money to Do More Good by Derrick Kinney. It's like we said, WSJ and USA Today, a bestseller. We'll have a link to it in the show notes to this interview on financialsurvivalnetwork.com. And Derrick, what's your website so we can give that out?
You can go to goodmoneyframework.com. But like I said, go to goodmoneychapters.com, and that'll be where you can download the first 5 chapters for free and also learn more about how we're empowering people to make more money right now.
All right. A worthy and noble task indeed. If you got a question for Derrick, just shoot us an email, kl@kerrylutz.com. Derrick, great luck on the book, and we'll talk to you again.
Thank you, Kerry. Thanks for having me today. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, your solution to today's trying times. For the latest, go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.